Hello friends and welcome to my channel Iballdesigningdeveloper. So like you all know that previously we have started a new tutorial series of C++ in which we have covered up really different things, and I hope you all enjoyed that all videos which we have covered up yet in this C++ tutorial. Like you all know that previously we were working on loops. We have covered up many of the loops topic, like we have learned about while loop, do while loop. Then we have also seen real life example that how you can use while loops with real life example. So I hope you enjoyed that all things. So today in this video we will be learning about for loops, and I'll be telling you that how to use for loops in C++, what is the way to use it, and what are the elements you have to add when you're using for loops here in C++. So I hope you'll be enjoying this amazing video here of for loops. So if you understand this video, if you enjoy it from its start, so remember to hit a like, and if you're new on this channel, want to see more videos like that, so remember to subscribe, and after subscribing hit notification bell so you can get the notifications of all my coming up videos which I'll be uploading on this channel. So now what we are waiting for, let's move to computer screen and let's get started. So now here we are in the computer screen, and like I've told you in start that today in this video I'll be telling you that what are for loops in C++ and how you can use it. So there are many different loops available in C++ like I've told you in previous video as well. So we'll be learning about many loops here, and you will be understanding that how we can use different loops in C++ and what are the elements we have to use when we are using different loops here. So if you talk about for loops here, so basically when you know exactly how many times you want to loop through a block of code, use the for loop instead of a while loop. Like if we know exactly how many times we want that the loop through a block code should be used, so for that we will be using for loop instead of a while loop. Means for this thing we can also use a while loop, but we exactly know that how many times we want the loop through a block of code, so that's why we will be executing for loop there instead of a while loop. So if we see that how we can use for loop, so basically for using the for loop, obviously you have to use this for statement here, and after using this for keyword you have to move forward. Then you have to write your statement here. First of all you will be writing your statement 1, and after adding your statement 1 you have to add your statement 2, and if you have added the statement 2, then in the end you have to add statement 3, because in for loops you can add only 3 statements here. After adding 3 statements, then you can make normally curly brackets which we make in every loop, and after that you can start the code block there you want to be executed. After doing these all things, you can just see that statement 1 is executed. If it is executed one time before the execution of code block, so it will be running, and statement 2 defines the condition for executing the code block. Means if you want to define the condition for executing the code block, so you will be using this statement 2, and if we want that statement 3 is executed every time after the code block has been executed, means statement 3 will be executed every time after the code block has been executed. So if we see the example below, will print the numbers 0 to 4. So this is the example of for loop in which I have looped 3 statements here, or I have used 3 statements here, and after using these 3 statements I have added this code block in which I have written \n, so that I can get the space here after this keyword which I have added. So I will be now getting the numbers printed 1 to 5, or you can say 0 to 4. So after getting these all numbers you will be getting a one line space as well, because I have written here \n in the end in the code block here which I want to be executed. Then if we see what the example is about, like if you want to see that what the example is, or if you want that I should be explaining you the example, so basically in statement 1 sets a variable before the loop starts in it I equal to 0, means this is an integer value, or you can say it is a variable in which we have written a value as 0. Statement 2 defines the condition of for the loop to run I must be less than 5. If the condition is true, the loop will start over again, but if the condition is false, the loop will end. Like if you want that the condition is true, so the loop will start over again, so it will, but if it is false, the loop will end, means it will be not running. If the loop is false, it will be simply ending the function, and that's the thing when you're using statement 2 here in for loop. So if you want that statement 3 should be executed, or how it will be executed, so basically statement 3 increases a value I++ each time the code block in the loop has been executed. Means statement 3 does do simple thing like it increases the value each time when the code block in the loop has executed. Like if I have executed number 0, so it will be changing this value to 1 each time. Like there, first of all it will be changing the value 0 to 1, then when we will be running the second time it will be changing the value to 1 to 2. Then when we'll be running third time, it will be changing the value 2 to 3. So like this statement 3 will be increasing the value each time the code block in the loop will be executed. Another example you will be getting is here. You can just see this is that example will only print even values between 0 and 10. Like if you want to get only the values which are printed between 0 and 10, the even values, so you can use this statement here, which is an example. So you can use this, but before using this, first of all we will be using our first example here, which is this one, in which you will be getting the numbers printed from 0 to 4, which is a simple example which we saw in while loops and do while loop as well. So what I'm going to do is I'll be simply moving on here to my Replit IDE, and after moving to this Replit IDE, what I'm going to do is I'll be just moving on to my REPL which I have used previously on, and then I'll be changing the name here. And today in this video we are learning about for loops, so I'll be writing for loops in C++, or you can write using C++. So you can just see our REPL has been created with the name of our topic which we are working with in this video, and now our REPL is just working, so we have to wait a while. And when all the things will be done, so we will be first of all writing our starting code, and after doing that all things we have to add some other things as well, so we can get all the things running in our output and we get all the result in our output. So you can just see all the things has been done. So I'll be writing here first of all include IOStream here, and after doing this I will be writing using namespace s3 as well. Then after doing this I'll be moving down and I'll be writing init main as well. So why I'm writing init main? So that we can get all the things in this init main function. So I'll be running it, and what I'm going to do is I'll be pasting all the things which I have copied, and I will be returning a value as well which will be as 0. After doing this I'll be just saving this file and I'll be running it, and after running you can just see the output we are getting is 0 from 4. So it is running first of all 0, and after 0 it is running all these 4 values 0 till 4, all the values are coming, you can just see, but this 5 is not coming. I have written here less than 5, so that's why the things means the numbers which are smaller than 5 are printed here, like we were getting in while loops as well when we have learned in the previous video. But now if you want to use the same thing with for loops, so you can do that. But if I use here the greater than sign, so you will be getting a no output, means you will be getting empty. You can just see all the things has been empty here. If you just change this value to 6 here, so now we have to check what thing we are getting. If I run, you can just see again we are getting all the things, but we are getting all the things printed unlimited. It is not stopping because we have written all the numbers printed after 6 greater than 5 should be printed, and that's why we are getting all these numbers in infinite loop and it is not stopping. So for doing it you have to press the stop button so that this loop should be stopped. So what I'm going to do is I'll be pressing 0 and I'll be just doing like this, and then if I run, so you will be getting all the values printed till 5, because I want that all the values printed less than 5 should be in the output. So you can just see 0 1 2 3 4, these are the values smaller than 5, so we are getting all these things printed. If I change it to 6, so you will be getting all the things printed 0 till 5, because 5 is also smaller than 6, that's why. So you can just see. Now if you want to use the second example here, so we'll be using that things as well. So what I'm going to do is I'll be simply moving here, and then I will be just moving here, and then I'll be copying this example after this, and I will be just commenting out this thing, because right now we have understand that how we can use this one. So we'll be using the second example here, which is this integer one. So I'll be just running this here, and after running you can just see now the numbers we are getting is printed. But the thing is that we are getting all the numbers printed 0 till 10, but these are the even numbers which we are getting printed, means we are not getting these number printed as all numbers. Like we are not getting 1, then we are not getting 3, we are not getting 5, we are not getting 7, then we are not getting 9 as well, because these are the even numbers. I have created this program so that I can print even numbers which are between 0 and 10. So that's why you are only getting even numbers, you're not getting any other numbers. If you want that odd numbers will be printed, so what I'm going to do is I'll be just changing this thing to 3. So now what it will be doing is it will be printing all the numbers 3 till 10, but it will be odd numbers. If I run it, so you can just see all the odd numbers are now coming, which is 3 5 7 9. So these are between 10 0 till 10, so that's why we are getting all the numbers printed as odd numbers. So I hope you understand that how you can print odd numbers and how you can print even numbers if you want to do it. So if I use 0 here, so you will be getting all the odd numbers printed. Now you can just see we are now getting all the odd numbers all the even numbers printed, and I hope you understand how we are getting. So if you have understand this video and if you enjoy that, how we can print different values using for loops here and how we can create small programs using for loops, so remember to hit a like. And if you're new on this channel, want to see more videos like that, so remember to subscribe, and after subscribing, hit notification bell as well, so you can learn different things here on this channel. So thing is that when you're using for loop, so for loop is really different loop here, because in for loop you can use three statements. In other loops, like when you're using while loop or when you're using do while loops, in that loops you cannot use three statements in one keyword. You have to use different statements, but for that you need to create different while loops tags here. But in for loop you can use three statements at once, and then you can simply use the code block. But if we talk about while and do while loops, so in that we have to use different code blocks so that we can execute the same value which we are getting here in for loop. But difference is that there are difference in the values which we are running, so the method will be different here in for loop, while loop, and do while loop. These are the three loops which we need to understand, and in coming up video I'll be telling you about more loops here which we need to learn as a beginner. So I hope you understand till here that how we can start with loops in C++, and I hope you understand what are for loops. If you have understand this video, if you enjoy, hit a like, subscribe, and share this video as well so more people can learn about these things. So just I'll be meeting you next video or next amazing tutorial here using C++. So for today, good, bye.